Hello and welcome to another episode of Talking Politics, the weekly show on domestic politics on the Hindu's YouTube channel, hosted by me, Nistula, Hebbar. I'm the political editor of the paper. And this week, without ifs and buts and without any reference to the campaign trail in the 5 states that have gone into polls, we will directly plunge into the southern state of Karnataka, where the BJP finally, after 6 months after having lost assembly polls, finally appointed B.Y. Vijayendra, party MLA, and more importantly, son of former Chief Minister B.S. Yeddyurappa, as the Karnataka BJP chief. He replaces Nalin Katil, who had already come to the end of his term but had been on extension, and then a further extension till the party could make up its mind on who it wanted should replace him. The Karnataka BJP is always known for its tugs and pulls, and this story as well is full of all of that. Let's plunge right in. So the BJP on November 10th appointed B.Y. Vijayendra, son of Mr. B.S. Yeddyurappa, and party MLA from Shikaripura, which was Mr. Yeddyurappa's old seat, as its state unit chief. And along with that, another former chief minister, D.V. Sadananda basically said that he would not be fighting Lok Sabha polls. He recused himself for any further contest. He's MP from Bengaluru North. And he said, I'm not going to be going ahead and fighting elections in 2024. All of these incidents have made up an interesting set of circumstances and gives a glimmer of the strategy that the BJP seems to be going ahead with for 2024. After its defeat in the assembly polls, and it was a big defeat that was handed to it by the Congress, and the party was in a bit of a disarray. And now the party seems to be coming around to some sort of a strategy. So let's unpack all of that. Now, as I said before, Mr. Vijayendra replaces Mr. Nalin Katil, whose term had been over even before the assembly elections, and he had been continuing on extension. Now, what is the most obvious reason for the appointment of Mr. Vijayendra to the party chief's chair? Now, during the assembly polls, the BJP did not perform well at all in its major catchment area of North and Central Karnataka, where up to 69 assembly seats are dominated by the Lingayat community. Now, this is the community to which Mr. Yeddyurappa and Mr. Vijayendra belong, and Mr. Yeddyurappa is a very important leader of the Lingayat community and was one of the people, actually one of the main people responsible for drawing the Lingayat vote to the BJP, which made it one of the major political forces in the state of Karnataka. Whereas, you know, there are two big dominant communities, the Vokkaligas and the Lingayats. So if the Lingayats are supporting the BJP, the Congress and the JDS had the support of the Vokkaliga community. So it basically put the BJP in a very good position. But in these elections, it was found that the Lingayat community did not continue with its support to the BJP. In the 69 seats where the Lingayat community is very crucial in North and Central Karnataka, the BJP got only 20 of those seats, and the Congress, very surprisingly, got 40 seats from there. So obviously there was something wrong in the relationship between the BJP and the Lingayat community, and basically the reason for that was being pointed out as the removal of then Chief Minister and, as I said, a major community leader among the Lingayats, Mr. B.S. Yeddyurappa, and revolts by senior leaders like Jagdish Shettar, who joined the Congress during the polls. So there was the Lingayat community had broken with the BJP. The BJP in Karnataka basically has support in North and Central Karnataka, which is the Lingayat belt, and they, as I said, 69 seats, etc. And then you have the coastal Karnataka, which is largely the Hindutva belt, where the BJP and the RSS especially is extremely dominant. So this time round, the BJP got decent number of seats from coastal Karnataka. Its Hindutva vote base was intact, but the caste vote base had shaken like hell. And after 6 months of sitting on it, thinking about whether the BJP could pull the Lingayat vote without Mr. Yeddyurappa or any other member of his family. Mr. Vijayendra is his political heir because he fought from Mr. Yeddyurappa's old assembly seat of Shikaripura. So this kind of a tug of war was happening within the BJP internally, that if we do give the BJP president's position to Vijayendra, basically you're saying that without the Yeddyurappa family, the Lingayat community does not want anything to do with the BJP. So then it becomes a caste party. So all of that, of course, has been set aside because the practicalities and the pragmatism required to fight the 2024 elections are also up ahead. And so therefore, Mr. Vijayendra, for this very, very obvious reason, was appointed party president. It has also basically quietened down all the other side of the argument. As I said, there were many who thought that by handing over the state unit to Mr. Vijayendra would be basically acknowledging that without the Yeddyurappa family, the BJP has no other Lingayat leaders. A party is not attractive to Lingayat community, only the family or the leadership of Mr. Yeddyurappa. And for a party which is fighting dynasty politics, or says that it fights dynasty politics, this is a bitter pill to swallow. In his defense, Mr. Vijayendra has been a very grassroots kind of worker for the party. He has been good at mobilizing crowds, mobilizing voters, and has good organizational skills as well, which were in evidence even before the 2018 elections and even in 2013 elections, in fact. So all of these things were evident. So in his defense, it can't be that he was just plucked out of nowhere and just because he shares a bloodline with Mr. Yeddyurappa, he's been put in that place. But yes, one particular argument has been defeated in this scenario. Now, the elements in the BJP basically which were persuading the national leadership that this should not happen have now been quietened down. Now let's go to Mr. Sadanand Gowda and what his recusal also means and what it means for the BJP strategy going ahead. Now, a few days before the announcement that Mr. Vijayendra was going to be made party president, another former chief minister, as I said, D.V. Sadanand Gowda, recused himself from contesting the 2024 Lok Sabha poll, a recusal which was attributed to a not so subtle nudge by the national leadership. Mr. Gowda had come to Delhi. He met with the top leaders of the BJP here, and he was told that, look, whatever your issues are, we can't sort it out, and frankly, we want that seat to be free of you. And so he came back to Bengaluru and he said, look, I've decided I'm not going to be asking for a ticket for that seat again. Mr. Gowda has in the past been vocally uncomfortable. He's expressed it publicly that he's uncomfortable with the BJP's tie-up with the H.D. Kumaraswamy-led Janata Dal S into the NDA. Now, why is that? The Janata Dal S, the Janata Dal Secular, counts as its heartland the old Mysuru area, which is dominated by the Vokkaliga community. As I said earlier, there are two big dominant communities, the Vokkaligas and the Lingayats. The BJP is to command the support of the Lingayat community thanks to Mr. Yeddyurappa. And the Vokkaliga vote is divided between the Congress and the JDS, and largely the JDS's heartland is the old Mysuru area. And but this time around, in the 64 seats in that area, the JDS won a very, very dismal 14. So a lot of the Vokkaliga vote just went to the Congress in these elections. It is an existential problem for the JDS, and they decided that because the BJP has never been a good performer in that region, but there are some chunks of population of the Lingayat community there. The JDS can basically avoid three-way fights and look for consolidation and also resources that the BJP brings into the game, because, you know, as a party which has been in the opposition for very long, they are a bit resource strapped, the JDS. So basically it made sense for the JDS to tie up with the BJP to take on the Congress, because for the JDS, the Congress is the rival rather more than the BJP, because in its own heartland, the BJP is not a competitor. So in this situation, so when you do a tie-up like this, you start then talking about tickets. Now, Janata Dal S has very openly asked for the Mandya Lok Sabha seat, which is currently occupied by independent candidate and Kannada actress Sumalata Ambarish. She was supported in her polls by the BJP and is considered obviously close to the BJP. She also campaigned for the BJP in the recently concluded assembly elections in the state. But the JDS says that this is a very sentimental seat for them and they want it back. And so Subrata Ambarish apparently has said that, okay, she is willing to vacate that seat, but she does want the Bangalore North seat instead. She wants that seat instead, which, as I said before, is occupied by Mr. Gowda. So it is goodbye to Mr. Gowda. Now, so this Vokkaliga, Lingayat, this kind of an alliance, seat adjustment, etc., all of this strategy, tactics of the BJP in Karnataka going ahead for the 2024 elections basically started to fructify this week. Now, clearly, the BJP is prepared to unroll its strategy and not ruin its prospects as it did in the 2023 assembly polls going into the Lok Sabha polls of 2024. This story is bound to get a little more exciting in the coming days, as is politics in the rest of the country as we go closer and closer to the Lok Sabha elections of 2024. But for now, from the state of Karnataka and from me on Talking Politics, thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.